everyone else on here? I see Mike is the speaker this week.
Yes, sir. Hello. How are you?
Fantastic.
Mr. Araba, what's up, man? I'm imagining you're like 40,000 feet in the air somewhere.
No. I'm finally back in Dubai. I managed to arrive back on Sunday morning around 3 a.m. So it's good. Had one day of shutdown time, and then getting myself ready for the panel tomorrow at AIBC.
Fantastic, man. Look forward to it.
Sure. And we got a bit of a surprise at the beginning of the panel that Shahid and the team has been working on.
Would you like to hear more of that from Shahid?
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see, sorry guys, I can see the live chat section is disabled and I don't have an option to re-enable. So maybe we want to take questions through Twitter and or Discord for today.
Yeah, that's fine. That's what we usually do anyway.
Okay,
I'm
super.
going to go into the game while we play as well, but while we talk, while we talk.
Yeah, we can probably start. Do we want to start with, I think maybe today we start with corporate and development on the business side of things. Maybe Zach, do you want to take the start today?
Yeah. So, first of all, wanted to introduce to the community a new segment in the AMA. This will be corporate updates. I'm going to lay it out basically today as to the topics that would be discussed. And as we keep moving on, in this segment, I would start inviting more of the internal and external team, like Doglord or both the Mikes and Charles, to start discussing more of our efforts in detail. So just to kind of kick off and just to make sure you guys can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Perfectly.
Okay, so the purpose of this segment is like, now that we're coming to a point of time in our project where we have a product for deployment, there's been a lot of work going on in the background when it comes to ecosystems, partnerships, interoperability, certain announcements on progress from management that I would be discussing. So today I'm just going to give a good intro to this segment to everyone on the AMA. And then from here, we'll try to build it out more and more. This is also something very, something of importance for the community, because we do notice that there is quite a few other communities, other developers that step into our AMAs. So this would also be an option and an opportunity for you guys to contact us, like we've seen from some of the events that took place in Dubai, and how a lot of other projects were looking to connect with us. So as I go through this, maybe it would also help everyone to understand the spirit of collaboration and partnerships that our project is working on, and what is like vital to the success in this division specifically. To start off, I'm going to talk about first partnerships and collaborations. So we will first talk about guilds. As far as you guys know, it's been all over 2 months. We went through discussions with multiple guilds. And the reason I'm giving this update now is that we are coming very close to a full-fledged partnership with one of the largest guilds out there. Right? Partnership talks have already been discussed. Synergies with Bezoge and Legends of Bezogia have been discussed. We're just finalizing certain things like joint campaigns that we want to run. So moving into next week and moving into the month of April, the community can expect announcements from us on those kind of partnerships, right? On the player base user acquisition side. The second thing, which I think is very big news, this was a big team effort over, I would say, at least the last 4 or 5 weeks, and that's to do with influencers. So I'm very happy to announce to the community that we've done a very large, and we finalized it. So it's been set in stone, a very large influencer partnership deal. And unlike any other marketing just shill kind of influencer deal, this one is more deeper related with this influencer who is a very big figure when it comes to esports and other segments, without giving up too much right now, into products as well. So this is an influencer that not only going to be signing up with us with millions of subscribers, but there will also be a continuity, a permanence of this personality in our ecosystem. Expect announcements definitely in April to the lead up to the full announcements and the kind of products that will be going out with this influencer deal. So we're very lucky as Bezoge, as a team, to be able to sign this off. And I just wanted to kind of let the community know and also congratulate the team on that deal. Definitely the information announcements are coming soon. So you guys have something to watch in that space as well. So we'll have guilds, one definitely being finalized as we speak. Influencers already finalized. The next thing I'll talk about is centralized exchanges. So currently we are in talks with 3 of the top 10 centralized exchanges. We have passed everyone's due diligence and KYC. So we're pretty much approved. The only thing is the purpose of us now going to centralized exchanges has grown in perspective, because it's not just about listing our native token. We have an array of products from the NFTs to the in-game currencies. So what we're actually looking for right now in discussions with these centralized exchanges, or SEX partners you can call them, is a good landing spot and a good home for all our products, right? Which means not only would we want the token to be listed, we would also have our NFTs running on their marketplaces, as well as our in-game currency, right, being provided liquidity on their platform. So we'll be going through that as well. The community can also be expecting announcements, right, in this regard, definitely coming up in the next month. And as the team members that are involved in these kind of projects with us, they will be stepping in and talking about, updates on where we stand. And we'll definitely be looking forward to giving you guys exciting information on these announcements. As you guys know, top tier exchanges now offer a lot of different products. So we're just trying to integrate with the best way possible, whether it's IEOs, IGOs, NFT marketplaces, direct listings. So definitely looking forward to keeping you guys updated, and just wanted to drop the news that, we've gone through the approval processes now. So none of these exchanges see any lack of documents or anything from our side as far as team goes or vetting us. That's already been completed. The fourth thing in this segment in the AMAs is going to be about collaborations and interoperability, especially to do with the metaverse and the real world. Currently, we have an initiative with some real world brands to integrate them into Legends of Bezogia. Charles has the lead on that. Maybe he can drop in a few words about it. Not necessarily today, Charles, but as we move on to the next AMA.
As you wish.
Go ahead. If you could give us a little breakdown of what you're working on, that would be great.
No, that's fine. No worries. I don't want to say too much anyway, because this is all very confidential so far. But as we all know internally, yes, of course, it's moving forward very nicely and very swiftly. And one of the big ambition of Legends of Bezogia is to be able to really enhance the experience of the gamers with some real life experience and virtual ones. So I'm just gonna tease here a lot, but you can be sure that we are discussing with lots of luxury brands right now for many different things, many different items that we're gonna be able to link with the game in order to acquire some very specific powers or any kind of experience boost or any kind of things like this. But it's gonna be very, very fun and very limited at the same time. So stay tuned on these ones. I'm sure it's gonna surprise a lot of people, and we're gonna most probably the first metaverse to be able to do these kind of things with lots of technical innovations as well, because it's not gonna be just an item and an NFT. It's gonna be much more than that. So just stay tuned. We are all working very actively on these topics, and that's it's going to be a game changer in the industry, most probably.
Thank you, Charles, for that. So, guys, for that perspective, real world integration of certain brands and experiences, that's going to be coming up in Legends of Bezogia. So we'll be keeping you posted, AMA by AMA, and obviously through official announcements. Once some of these deals are finalized in its initial intentions, but as we get closer to actually deploying, we'll be making announcements officially on our channel or giving you guys updates every week on these AMAs. Another aspect that we've been looking at from a corporate point of view is the acquisition of virtual real estate, maybe in other metaverses, in order to bring a little bit of interoperability between us and them. For that, we believe that it's a really good idea because we could diversify the strength of our treasury by holding some land in other metaverses and kind of building out a bit of a Bezoge kingdom in them for not only our users to enjoy, but for their ecosystem to also kind of be attracted to understanding Legends of Bezogia and the fun and the engagement that we offer. And on that note itself, we've had some other projects that are building metaverses that have requested us to see if they could use our IP, like the Bezogies, in some of their metaverses or play-to-earn games. From a character point of view or from a brand point of view, now that the Bezogies and Legends of Bezogia have become somewhat of a very recognizable brand from what we experienced at these events where people knew us. So we're definitely looking at talks. We're just initially starting talks on that, and we're looking at those kind of options because we do want to be an inclusive ecosystem. And we've started taking that and the importance of that now into Bezoge and into the corporate structure itself. And the one more point that's here, and I'll definitely try to make this more extensive and detailed over the next AMAs as I get feedback from the team and the community, is just corporate updates on certain management things. So from that point of view, I'll let the teams kind of talk about the resources that we have onboarded, let's say in the creative department, which Benji can mention to us shortly. Or let's say, for example, the expansion of the marketing team, which Shahid is going to mention in his segment. Generally, even though there was a lockdown in the Shenzhen office last week due to the pandemic, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard that it's been quite an outburst out in the China and the east side of the world with the pandemic. We were actually able to open up back again today with a much larger team. So even though we were working remotely, the HR has been outperforming really well. And yeah, generally that's about it. I'm going to bring the segment in every week so that we can get more and more into detail. But I'm glad today that we were able to actually bring this segment in because it's been months and weeks of works when it comes to partnerships, when it comes to guilds, influencers, centralized exchanges. So I'm very happy to be able to tell the community that there's been progress on all fronts, and they'll be getting some pretty exciting announcements as we move into the month of April. Well, that's about it, guys, from my side.
Thanks. Okay, so I think I'll go with the development update for this week. So we've opened the alpha tonight just for a very short test. We wanted to test a few new mechanics we've added to the game. But we'll also be doing more, I mean, we'll still be doing some quick tests like that, but we'll also have a regular alpha test session that will be, that should be every week. At least this week it will be there at, it will be in the evening on Thursday US time, so at 10 p.m. EST, which is like 2 a.m. UTC. We'll announce it more in detail, so don't worry. And yeah, we'll have this test, and then maybe if we need, we'll do more small testing. So yeah. And also we've opened the alpha to more people who applied who are not on the Discord yet. So there can be more people joining the alpha, and we can test the game even if they are not like part of this aspect of the community on the Discord, but they're still interested in the project and want to test it. So you can apply for it, and yeah, even if you're not on the Discord, you can still be added. So that for the game itself, we've added like lots of improvements to the combats. There are still a few tweaks we need to do, but right now, there were some people who had like issues with the Bezoges, like not hitting. Like it was relatively difficult to hit an enemy because you sometimes you had like your Bezoge would move in the wrong direction, etc. And now there's like kind of a targeting system that makes your Bezoge focus on its enemy, like kind of like a Terminator, and when it's in close combat, and so it makes it a lot more convenient and a lot easier. Also, we've like added like
just
birds.
on that. Sorry, Benji.
Yeah, good. So you wanted to say?
I think
that'd be very good.
I think he was making a Terminator comment.
Okay.
No, I was saying I just died on stream just as I was trying to kill with the improved weaponing.
Okay.
You just ruined Benji's flow. He just
Sorry,
got
buddy.
over there for a second and like, where was I?
I'm so sorry, buddy.
Yeah, so we've added also like besides that, we've added like some birds flying around in the map, so that's like makes it a bit more lively. There will be like, if you've seen, like we've added like we've leaked a few images of new trees. They are not yet in the game right now. There are still a few things we need to sort out for like their collision boxes, etc. But they already look really good, and it will be. I mean, we will test it. We'll add it to the game in a few days or 1 week or something. And with your feedback, we'll see, we'll adjust, etc. That was something that was asked by the community. Like that was a kind of a topic in the community. Like how can we make the game look better? And the trees were kind of an important part of it. So we're trying to make it more interesting for the game. In tonight's version, we've also added like a partial controller support. So if you have a gamepad, you can already play the game. It's not like fully done yet. There are still like a few features we need to add, but it's already kind of playable, and soon we'll make it more interesting. So that was something that was often requested, and that's I think a cool way to play the game.
Yeah, I saw that controller on your desk today, Ben, and then I knew something was coming when I saw that controller on the desk.
Hey,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
when
like,
you have those birds, if I have a bow and arrow, can I drop one down?
I mean that could be a feature, but like right now, no, they don't have.
Right now,
they don't have collision.
Right now, they're just beautiful particles flying through the sky.
Yeah, exactly. But we could. Who knows? Yeah. So also a big thing we've been working on these days is like a new weapon system. We've like developed a new shader for it, and a full like a kind of system to create content around it. And it will allow us to have like much more weapons very quickly. So it will be possible to like within months to have like 1,000 different weapons that will be generated like procedurally. And so there will be like, but there will be significant differences between the weapons, and they will have like different different statistics, etc. There will be different graphics, and so I think that will make the game experience a lot richer, and it will make the minting also very, very interesting. We'll soon share a few images of that, like when it's ready and it's good enough to show it to you. It will be, you'll see it's really cool. And we already have like now have a lot of designers that are working in the office, so I think we'll be able to create a lot of content.
Yeah, the new system for the weapons is really cool. I mean, basically every weapon we create turns into like 32 different versions of the weapon, and all like programmatically, and it's beautiful the way it works. I think when people see the weapons with all the cool particle effects and the custom shader you've built, I was going to say something else there, but it would kind of give away something that we don't want to talk about yet with weapons. But there's a big change happening to weapons in a very positive way, I would say, right, Benji? And
yeah,
I think it's going to shock people with how good it is. Doglord, actually, we were locked down for a week in Shenzhen, and me and Benji basically were on the call every day trying to work out the new weapon system. And so we came back after lockdown, and Doglord just saw it today. And I think he liked it a lot as well. So it's good to see an honest reaction of someone who's not been part of the development. Maybe you can give your thoughts on that, Doglord.
I think if I say anything, I'll be giving a lot of it away. So I would just say, I just look forward, because we'll have to drop a huge article on that to explain exactly how the mechanic works.
It's a cool mechanic, though.
It's a very cool mechanic.
Yeah,
it's a very cool mechanic, and it brings in a lot of variations and longevity in the weapon system. So you'll have to. It'll take a while to expertise on what kind of weapons and what would work best with your Bezoge. It makes the game very fun.
Yeah, and there will be like, I think the minting with all this will be very, very fun. Like I think there will be a lot of, like each player will have to think a lot, like to how to mint weapons and stuff, and just there will be like some. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, it will be pretty cool.
Maybe in the next week or two, we'll be able to share something. Hopefully by next week, actually, we'll be able to share something to show people what we're talking about with the weapon.
Yeah, I think so too.
In my knowledge, I don't think there is any crypto or any at least any game in the crypto space that has this kind of mechanics when it comes to in-game items. And I play a lot of games, so.
Well, the amount of customizability, basically, of if that's even a word, of the weapons is incredible. It means.
I don't think you can use that word.
Customizability. I think that's a word. Either way,
it's a word, but I don't think you can use it here.
Yeah, that can work.
Because you can't customize it.
It's not really customization, but it's like minting, and what you mint will be different. Like you basically
I mean, from our side, there's a lot of customizability that we can put in there. We can customize the weapons a lot. The user cannot, no. But we as a development team can customize the weapons and give them a really unique look for each weapon. There's a significant... basically, each weapon becomes 32 different versions. So there's a lot of uniqueness to the weapons. And no other game that I've seen has this level of uniqueness, actually. There's a lot.
I think the most interesting part in the weapons is the game theory that's been applied to it. Once we release the whole way the weapon and the whole article on the weapons in the coming week, when people understand the game theory, I think that would be the most exciting part of it.
Yeah. And internally, I mean, we have a goal to try and create, I think we told the team like 3,200 weapons by next month. It gives you an idea of how many weapons we're trying to create.
Yeah. I think we can have a lot.
That doesn't mean we're going to show you 3,200 weapons next month, but at least as a stretch goal internally, we have a goal to try and get like 3,200 next
I
month.
need to start collecting those blocks then.
You do indeed.
Yeah. And it's good. We have a team that is growing to design all these weapons. Like we have now two new designers who've joined since last week. 2D designers. There will be a game developer that will join us tomorrow here in China, and one more that has joined last week in Pakistan. And that's a great thing because that's one thing we needed a lot, like to have more developers. And we should have like more people, like more like a few key roles that are being filled probably in the next few days. So yeah, that will help the development a lot and make everything faster and a lot better. So I think that's pretty much it for the development. I don't know if Shahid wants to.
Shahid, would you like to stop chasing Elon Musk and maybe give us an update on marketing?
I like coming. Shahid, I really like the overlay that I can see exactly what you're doing with your keyboard. It's nice.
Yeah, cool. I was working on that last week just to actually teach some tutorial videos. So yeah, thank you, Doglord. I'll start with marketing. Thank you for the great update, Benji, on development. And as Zach mentioned earlier, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes in terms of corporate development. It's a big part of our growth, and a lot of these discussions we spend working on 3 or 4 different time zones. So a typical day might be from 6 a.m. European time right through to 1, 2 in the morning, because we're arranging calls through US, Asia, and Europe. So the team are spending a lot of time behind the scenes making these conversations happen. And take these hot leads and move them forward as fast as we possibly can. So thank you for the update so far. So in marketing, we still continue to focus on social. One of the key goals, as mentioned before in previous AMAs, is to grow our Twitter base, to grow our overall following across many of our platforms, but Twitter being a main focus for us. So we'll continue to post a high frequency amount of content out on Twitter and along the other channels. A lot of that, we're going to vary some of the content moving forward. So as mentioned earlier, one of the community members asked about how to control Bezogies and really how to play the game a little. So that got me thinking in terms of a few snippet videos, things like the overlay feature, which showing keyboard functionality, so you can see I'm kind of moving around. So it really helps to speed up the onboarding. A lot of different players who may not be familiar with MMO or RPG type games, just makes it nice and easy to figure out the controls and kind of have some fun pretty quickly. So we'll be expanding a lot more of our video types in terms of content that goes out. Carrie's been producing some how-to videos this week on how to set up a wallet, how to buy Bezoge, obviously, but a lot of safety videos as well. So we're seeing across Telegram, there's a lot of scam profiles turning up in groups. So one of the things we want the community to do is always try and stay safe. So some of the videos you'll see produced by Carrie coming out on YouTube and some of the socials will be around safety, keeping your messages locked, etc., etc. In addition to that, we'll have a few more announcements on some of these many thousands of weapons, many of which I haven't seen yet, and I see a lot of things fast. So Benji normally shares quite a lot, but the weapons I've not seen today. So things like weapon names and competitions and polls will be running across social. Maybe we give some token away for some of the best names. But that's something we're going to need the community help with. We've got a lot of weapons we need to name. And probably over the course of the next few weeks, I'll release quite a few different weapons in their form, test them within game. So a lot of fun things to come. Tomorrow, another announcement in social, and really to help grow our audience. We're going to start giving away 100 billion Bezoge token on a weekly basis, regardless. So it's going to be a very simple mechanic. You just need to subscribe, follow, share. It will start every Tuesday, 1 p.m. UTC. It will end every Sunday, 1 p.m. UTC. And every week in the AMA, we'll announce a winner. So that'll be a 100 billion Bezoge token giveaway every single week, regardless of whether it's a red week or a green week. So something just to give back to the community and really aid some of our growth that we'd like to aim for in terms of audience and followers. We're also going to be releasing this week a streaming build. So that'll be a special build to allow for a little bit more streaming sessions amongst the team, amongst the influencers. I know in previous weeks, 1 or 2 weeks ago, we gave special access to Swifty and Rabbit, but we'd like to open that up to some of the really committed members in the community. We see you all in Discord, Telegram, all of the engagement, all of the help that you provide. A lot of you are active players in Alpha as well. So we kind of want to stream with you. So we'll have a special stream build that Benji's working on. So as soon as that's available, I'll kind of release the announcement up on Twitter and the various social channels. So again, if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. It's definitely worth joining for that session. And one of the discussions we were having was how can we open up Alpha even more? How can we remove some of the barriers that we've got with Discord? So one of the discussions earlier we had, and kind of Benji mentioned earlier, is if you have signed up for Alpha and you've given your wallet address, in the next Alpha session, when we're open, you'll be able to play without Discord. The only thing you'll need to do is download the game or the latest build if you haven't already, and we'll make sure those download links are available on the website. So if you're still uncomfortable with Discord, but have signed up and given your wallet address, you'll still have a chance to experience the game. So this will really allow us to test Alpha to its limits, and again continue with some of these testing sessions that we want to perform and become faster on things generally. In terms of website updates, last week, because we spent a lot of time working on the ENGB build out. So UK, the localization for UK has been fully built out now. This week we'll be building out English Philippines. So currently we have us.com as default, and then a subfolder structure for globalization. So for UK, it will be a localized site /en-gb/. For Philippines, it will be en-ph/. So these are localized folders on bezoge.com that'll allow the localized structure to rank well in that specific market. In addition, if we ever want to tailor the message for the local markets, we have the ability within our Strappy platform. So this is a big part of our international expansion and something we wanted to get right. So we had a big success in getting GB fully populated. Philippines this week. We'll do final tests and final QA. Then I think we'll be very, very soon, we'll be ready to flick the switch. So there'll be a nice surprise in terms of website upgrade coming. And really to help with a lot of that speed that we've been working on behind the scenes, we've been actively recruiting in a lot of different areas. So, you know, Benji's discussed a lot on the development side, how we've been massively, been able to ramp up our development on weapons, look at things differently in terms of programmatically. The same thing goes for the website. So we're currently actively interviewing React developers, and of which we've got someone on retainer doing an amazing job for us. Also, this is the same case on UX and UI. So on UX UI design, in terms of full responsive templates, desktop, tablet, mobile, everything we needed to help us to become fast is kind of falling into place now. So e-commerce now is fully designed in terms of all device types, listings, category, as well as individual product page. We've done the R&D for e-commerce already. So slowly after, or very quickly after release, when we switch over, we will immediately start with e-commerce development thereafter. So it'll be nice to be able to give you progressive updates on the website and how things are moving forward. So yeah, recruitment side is looking great on both development and UX UI. I think overall that's been, that's pretty much it on marketing. As mentioned earlier, a lot of discussions behind the scenes with some of the guild partnerships, a lot of preparation in terms of campaigns and announcements. So yeah, the day never ends. The day never ends for me, at least anyway.
Maybe I can take it up from there, Shahid?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, sounds good.
Mike,
so,
actually, sorry, another one important, the final video for your announcement just to come, Mike. So we have a video being prepared. It'll be a bit of a blend of some of the video content you've seen before. This will be to complement Mike's next speaking announcement. But that'll be 10-second trailer, 10-second desktop, 10-second mobile. So really a full 360 showcase of where we are with development. And as you can see right now, the game's looking pretty amazing. So I'll pause for now, Mike. That's the main updates for marketing. Still speed, still a focus on social, still a focus on video content, and we'll be varying up a lot of the content moving forward.
And keep the Twitter ads we've turned on today as well.
Yes.
So people begin to see ads on. Actually, I say people should begin. They probably won't. Is we're doing some very targeted markets, at least to begin with. But at least on Legends of Bezogia, we'll be starting a lot more promotion of content.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I believe the ads are running right now.
There will be a lot of split A/B testing as well. So we'll be testing messaging as well as creative. So standard practice in enterprise marketing. So some of those campaigns will be up. As mentioned earlier, they'll be targeted in different markets, device types, different audiences as well. So maybe you might not be in the right audience. You might not see the ad. Maybe you are in the right audience. So lots of nice things being activated and switched on. But I'm gonna pop myself on mute. I'm gonna probably carry on with gameplay, and that's the main updates for marketing. And then I think after Mike, we'll move on to Q&A. And I think
just to add on just a quick thing, I just realized that there was updates from the Meta Week. The two important things that the team has been working on that I forgot to mention.
We can't hear you, Zach. You're breaking up.
Zach, you're breaking up.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, let's try it out.
Okay. No, just two updates from Meta Week that I feel that were part of marketing. So the two good outcomes that came out is talks with a multi-chain, cross-chain wallet provider, which we could potentially integrate their tech into the game, or something to do with our in-game wallets as well. And the second thing is obviously there's collaboration talks. Well, sorry, I said obviously because the team knows, but there is collaboration talks with somewhat of a very unique blockchain-based streaming service. I can't say much more, but just think of the auditorium and certain ways we could even use that more than just for AMAs, concerts, battle royales. So there is talks, and a very interesting project as well, a very large market capitalization project as well. So those are the two good outcomes from Meta Week that I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.
Yeah, so that's actually a good segue. After the Meta Week that we attended all last week, actually was maybe 10 days ago now, 2 weeks ago, there was, of course, the first panel that I attended and was part of. And there is another one tomorrow at the AIBC Dubai, which is another blockchain conference. It's going to be tomorrow at 6 p.m. local time on the GameFi stage. And the topic is going to be NFT gaming and metaverse NFT integration. So, of course, the usual topic are most likely going to be addressed. So meta-to-meta APIs and connectivity and transfer of a NFT asset in between different metaverse, and how can that be sustainable with a white paper for a wider integration between metaverses, because that's something that's pretty quickly going to be a challenge in the industry. When you start acquiring these expensive NFTs, your wish is, of course, to use it in its native metaverse, but carry it onwards in other metaverses. Otherwise, you're going to have to maintain multiple amounts of assets, and it's going to be a difficult one. So as Shahid briefly touched upon, the team created a 30-second trailer that's going to be played at the beginning of the panel on a big screen. So we're hopefully going to be able to reach out to a pretty wide audience and demonstrate the visuals of the game and where we stand in terms of competition. There's a few topics that I wanted to debrief, like Zach did, around the Meta Week. There was a very interesting conversation that I had with a very early investor that invested in a lot of different play-to-earn and metaverse games. And he was actually very surprised of the state of our project, given that we were only from May 2021 versus the others that he had invested in at least a year before, and they were nowhere near close to where we were. So that was actually pretty interesting to hear. But we shouldn't be too confident, because a lot of the things that the other projects have been working on have not been released publicly or made public, whereas we have a tendency to immediately demonstrate and show to the ecosystem and to the community where we are. So even if we have a bit of a head start, we shouldn't be too comfortable, because they can probably catch up real quick. A second piece of interesting collaboration, like Zach was mentioning, we had a chat with like a Zoom meeting-like conference system that's based on a blockchain, and they have developed a complete AI system that's detecting automatically and making summary of conversations into a PDF. So it's detecting the voices and put it into text. And that's the kind of thing that could be implemented inside the game for conversations or meetings, and creating excerpt of these meetings or these gaming sessions if you want to remember where something was discussed or not. So that's one of the potential projects that could be integrated as well. Finally, there's another point that I wanted to briefly touch upon, and it's linked to engaging with influencers and YouTubers and whatnot. Of course, the mainstream objective is to engage globally with English-speaking communities and global communities that are obviously all talking in English. But I've been pushing for quite a while with a large influencer, YouTuber, Twitcher, and Twitter in the French community. He's got over 1 million subscribers in his social accounts, and he's got regular contracts with Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, and all the major gaming companies that are paying him to promote their AAA games. And the good news is he's just accepted last week to do a one-on-one session with me, where I'm going to be presenting the game and sharing the game live on his Twitch account, and he's usually got multiple hundreds of thousands of people that are watching the stream every single time. And if everybody wants to take a look, it's called his handle is COD Jordan 23, COD Jordan like the basketball player, and 23 like the jersey number of Michael Jordan. So COD Jordan 23.
I was going to say both of them are like the basketball player, Mike.
There we go. So, yeah. So I know they are. So COD Jordan 23. If you guys want to take a look at his videos, you will see he's got a lot of live sessions and YouTube videos where he's doing gameplay sessions with very famous people and professional musicians or sports players. So that's a good way to engage with localized communities as well, not only English speaking. So French is the first one, and the idea once we have this one is for him to introduce us with others in Germany, in Netherlands and other regions, to have more regionalized engagement with localized gaming communities. And that's really where we're going to be able to enter deeper into different regions. And I'm sure Shahid can do the German one then.
I'll try my best.
Can you speak German?
Shahid can barely speak English. Never mind German.
I knew that was coming.
You laughed before I said it. Shahid can't pronounce the word lower.
Lure.
Yeah, these rolls his R's.
Lure. We need lure. We need the content for the lure content.
Oh my god.
Kein Problem, Shahid.
On this, I just wanted to make a quick note to everyone in the community, the ones that are listening and the ones that listen to the recaps. We do tend to, as a team, sometimes stay a bit lighthearted because the product that we're developing is so entertaining. And sometimes when we're lighthearted, or there's an element of humor in our discussions, it's just a way of reflecting the fun that we are having in developing the project. It has nothing to do with being like unprofessional in any way or sort of form. So I hope that's okay with you guys as well. We do enjoy what we're doing, so that's why even when we come in public spaces like this, you hear us, add a bit of humor or stay a bit lighthearted about certain things. Yeah,
no, it's widely unacceptable, Zach.
We always have fun at Bezoge. We always have fun at Bezoge.
Exactly.
I know. And sometimes I like to crack one too many jokes, but
that's okay. That's what makes the life and the project so fun. So that's the only way to make it cool.
Yeah. Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah. So obviously the idea is to continue doing more public appearances on the specialized conferences and events. There's another 2 or 3 panels where I'm probably gonna go speaking from now until the end of the summer. If you guys in the community know people that are running panels or attending events or whatnot, please feel free to reach out to myself or anybody in the team. I'll be happy to join any panels to talk about anything crypto or not related, NFT, gaming, metaverse, anything. I'm happy to join. Any questions, whether tough or easy, I'm really keen to jump on.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike.
All right, I guess you guys are ready for me.
We are. There was a bit of an awkward silence there. I was hoping someone would come in.
Go, Carrie.
I was thinking, shall I stop playing and press unmic myself? And then I was like, someone will come in.
Carrie came to the rescue, as always.
Yes. I just have to say, I'm sure I speak for the entire community when I say I'm loving the new corporate update section with Zach and Charles and Mike. So that's fantastic. Love hearing it. Maybe we should have let Zach speak more often, all this time. He's been holding out on us. But I
Don't
love
make
it.
me blush.
Don't
Don't make me blush.
yeah.
Don't flatter me. Yeah.
Don't give him ideas. Don't give him ideas, Scary.
You guys want to
Well,
see
we can keep
AMA for
him.
my time up?
No, we'll
If
keep
you
him
say that,
professional in his section and only put a limit to like 1 or 2 jokes in the rest of the AMA, but he's got to stay professional in his section. So we'll do
you
that.
know that's all he's going to talk about for the next 2 weeks every time he speaks to me now. That Carrie likes him talking on the AMA.
Okay.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, I have to deal with him for the next 2 weeks.
All right. We'll have to keep him on a leash. All right. So, a few reminders for the community. There are scammers out there every day, all day. We report, blog, try to remove as much as we can, but just remind everyone to stay safe and do not respond to people in your DMs. Yesterday in Telegram and a bit today, it started, there was someone impersonating Dog Lord and hopping into people's DMs. So the team will never send you a DM first. They will never ask you for money either. The one yesterday was asking for money. So Dog Lord is not asking anyone for money. So please, please just
They even sent that to
block.
me, Carrie. I got that message. I got the scam message from Doglord this morning.
Oh, yes, it's frustrating. And, we try to catch them quickly and block them, but they're tricky and they'll go in and immediately change their name. So it's hard for us to find sometimes. So we do what we can, but we need you guys to be on the lookout too and don't respond to DMs and just block them. Again, I'll have some upcoming videos with security tips and tricks and things you can do. That'll be posted to the website. Hopefully soon we'll get all these out just as reminders for everyone. And also with the giveaways. So especially since we're starting this amazing 100 billion token giveaway every week, there are giveaway scams. There's even a giveaway website where it looks like they've stolen some of our images from our new website and they've created a giveaway. So it is scam. Only trust what comes from our official account. And I think it's great that we're going to start announcing the winners on each AMA. So that way, for sure that the winner is coming from the team and you're not being scammed by a giveaway winning for some reason. So, yes. And if you want to make sure you have all of our official links, our link tree can be found, all of our links can be found on the website, the top of the Twitter account right there, the link tree, everything's on there. Save that. It's handy to use. And focus is going to continue to be on our YouTube. So the AMAs, which is what's going on right now, we're recording these, we're taking the snippets, gotten some good feedback from the community so far. They're loving the little clips, the thumbnails. You can just go to our YouTube if you need a refresher, like, oh, what did Jeff say about this? Or what did Zach say about that? It's going to be broken down and separated into clips, so you don't have to go back and listen to the whole hour or 2 hour long AMA to find your answer. So those are great. We're going to keep those coming and keep your feedback coming also. All right, few questions on my end real quick to Shahid, since you're still streaming. Had someone in Discord asking if you could show another weapon. He's only seen the swords being displayed in use. So maybe if you can change it to the fork, show the shield off. If you could do that while you're streaming.
I think within the next week or so, we'll have a lot more examples of different weapons. I think Benji can maybe give an answer on this, but I think in the next week we can show, not necessarily put it into testing and have it in the game, but we can at least show some videos and some clips of testing internally in the game with the different weapons. And I think that's doable, Benji?
Yeah, sure. I think so. What we wanted to focus before is, instead of adding like a lot of weapons like all the time, what we wanted is to have like create a system from which we could create like thousands of weapons, and that would be the system that we use like in the released game and after the release. So that's why we kind of didn't. I mean, maybe in the advertisements, like on the marketing, etc., we could show more like the hard fork, etc. But the main focus in the game development was mostly to create the system, and then now that we have the system that is like almost ready, we're just testing, tweaking a few things. We can add lots of weapons, and then there will be a lot more content about it.
All right, great. So since we're on the subject of weapons, I actually had a couple of questions already regarding weapons, and we've talked a lot about it today. It's exciting. I'm anxious to have more weapons myself. So on that note, how many weapons will players be able to have in their inventory? Is there a limit? You know, is there 20? Can we have 1,000? Is there any kind of limit to the quantity of weapons?
I can give an answer before Benji. As we don't want to have a hard limit. There shouldn't be a limit on how many weapons you can own, but there may be a limit on how many weapons you can have loaded into your direct inventory, like that you can use instantly in the game. You may have to go and switch them out, and have a limit within that. Benji, am I right in saying that?
Yeah. So
it's hard to load 1,000 weapons in your inventory if you've got 1,000 weapons in your wallet.
Sure. So I think that will be like there is no like, at least we don't plan to have like any hard limits for this, because there's no real reason why. But if we do limit it in some ways, it will just be because like for the kind of user experience perspective, it might be inconvenient to scroll for hours to find the weapon you're looking for. But I think it shouldn't be. At least it shouldn't be like a limit that people will feel. In the worst case scenario, maybe there will be a way to store them like in some like less like secondary inventory or something like that. We might find ways to do this, but anyway, we don't want it to be like a real limit that people will feel in the game. So you should be able to have as many weapons as well.
Awesome. That's great to hear. One more question about the weapons. So I know with the weapons, we need to go through like the maintenance for the durability maintenance. What have you guys decided at what point can you no longer continue maintenance before a weapon needs to be replaced?
There won't be. You won't need to replace it ever. It should always be repairable. So it may get to the point that the weapon is in a state that it's no longer usable, Gary, but it would be repairable. So there'll always be a way that you can maintain the weapon. But ideally, you should be maintaining it as you go to make sure you keep the durability up to the top. We've actually not put together the system yet. Benji knows about the system, but we've not put it together yet. But basically,
we haven't implemented it yet, but yeah.
It's quite a simple implementation, I believe. But basically, we have to have two things. One is the durability and what percentage the weapon is at in its lifespan, and then when it gets down to 0, you'll be able to repair it. But I believe and it will be slightly more expensive. Let's say, for example, to repair it 50% would cost, let's say, 100 blocks. This is just an example. But if you let it go all the way down to 0, the cost might be a lot higher. So if 100 blocks was half, so 200 blocks would be the full price, but you might have to pay 250 to repair it once you let it go down to 0. But if you were to not let it get down to 0, you might only pay 199, right? So there'll be an extra amount to completely revive a weapon from being completely broken and repair it, rather than to maintain.
Okay, that sounds great. It sounds like auto maintenance. You know, you got to change your oil every, 3,000 miles or pay for more expensive repairs later. So perfect. I get it.
Yeah, and one thing also for this system, I mean, we'll do a lot of testing during the beta to see, to tweak it, to see how people if people are kind of frustrated with some aspect of it, so we can adjust it a bit. But what we kind of want is that people should feel free to use their weapons. I mean, it will be a mechanic, but it won't be like a survival game where you have to absolutely think too much about this all the time. But it will be like a mechanic where you can save weapons for some situations and use others, but you still should be able to kind of enjoy the game without thinking too much about this thing.
Yeah, it won't be to the level that like Breath of the Wild is. Like Breath of the Wild, there are some weapons you use 10 hits and it's done. It wouldn't be that extreme.
Yeah, especially with the minting, etc. So it should be more like maybe something like the Elder Scrolls Online, stuff like that, with durability that is relatively long, and it's kind of a somewhat minor aspect of the game, but you still have to think about it when you create a weapon, etc.
Yeah, but we may have some cheap weapons in the game, like rusty weapons, for example. Dropping a little bit of a leak here. Rusty weapons, for example, that would have very low durability. But then most of the weapons within the game should have reasonably high durability, that they'll last for hundreds of hits. It's not a case of you're going to use it for 10, 20 hits and it's done. It would be probably in the hundreds. So at least you can be very aware of how many hits you have left with a weapon that you need to maintain it.
Yeah.
Okay, exciting. All right, I've got another question. I'm going to just kind of skip around. I'm in Discord right now. So can we get an update on staking as far as the time frame? Is it going to come before beta, or do we have to wait for the staking process for when beta comes?
Can you say that again?
So he's asking, will staking be live the first day of beta, or is it going to be closer to the end? Do we have a time frame on the staking and when we can start the staking process?
So staking, we made some changes to staking recently, and we're actually in the process of testing right now. The code is completely finished, and we're going to send it once we've done some more testing. We're going to send it to get audited, most likely by Certic. I believe Doglord is already in touch with Certic to get that contract audited before we put it live. But there's quite a few things to do with staking that we discussed last time, like summoning and the blocks, and all of these things need to be aligned. We will release a 2022 roadmap very soon when we update the site. So I think we'll have some more estimate timelines of when these things should be launched on the new site, which should be in the next week or so. So expect to see a more updated timeline on the new site. But also, I think that definitely before beta, but close to, ideally close to the launch of beta. But beta should be reasonably soon as well. So we'll make some more updates on these things in the next few weeks. But staking, summoning, and blocks should be way before beta comes out. So it should be very reasonably soon. As soon as we can get the contracts audited, of course. That's the key thing.
So basically, everyone just needs to stay in our space, stay active on our socials, and keep up to date with our AMAs. All right, couple questions. Yep. Now, these two questions came from a YouTube Q&A session I had this last Friday from Old Guy David. First question on the Dev and Treasury wallets. Are they single or multi-signature requirements on those? Did I ask that properly?
They're single, but they're ledger accounts, and we will be moving them into cold storage at some point very soon. We're already in discussions with the cold storage company, and that's something that we have on the horizon. It's definitely on the roadmap. So hopefully very soon we'll be able to move those wallets into cold storage. We're a little bit hesitant to do it right away because of the 2% tax, and it's if 2% of those wallets is a lot. So we're waiting for the right opportunity to move them into cold storage. But at the moment they're on very secure. They're on a ledger, which is very secure. So they're on hard wallets. They're just not in cold wallets.
Okay. And a follow-up question to that was regarding those wallets they're showing is not locked. Is that just to allow for any upcoming marketing or exchange spending, or like you discussed possibly having to move them?
I mean, they're not locked because we may need them for liquidity on exchanges. We may need them to make payments for exchange listings or for any other sort of things. But we in no way are like actively. You can see those wallets are not extremely active.
Yes, I've mentioned that. I'm like, anybody can go look at either scan, click on those wallets and see the activity. And I may have even mentioned a few times it's great that they're not locked because yes, let's get that marketing. Let's spend some money. All right. I think that's about it for me, other than someone's asking if we can reduce the giveaway to 150 listeners instead of 500.
Maybe we could do something incremental, maybe 250 and then 500.
No. I think what we will do is we're going to run a few more ads for next week's AMA. We're going to test some ads on Twitter to promote the AMA itself, to get people on, and we'll announce the winner on the AMA. We discussed this with Shahid over the weekend. We may test that, run some ads, directly promote to people to bring them into the AMA, as I think it's a good place for people to come in and learn about the project. So we can try that.
And see the fantastic stream.
Yes, I agree. I think we need to keep it at 500. It's doable, and these things are valuable. I know not everyone realizes right now maybe what the value of these things are, but I'm definitely going to be hoarding all of mine and acquiring more just as soon as summoning starts. So I guess we can move on to the rest of the community now. If anyone in here has questions, raise your hand. We'll invite you up to speak. I'm not seeing any question. Oh wait,
I was gonna say,
is everyone
quiet this week? Sorry, Carrie, I talked at the same time as you there. Everyone's quiet this week.
That's okay. I think everyone's in shock with all the great news we've heard today.
I think we covered a lot in this AMA today.
Hello.
There was a lot. I even leaked a few things about weapons that I shouldn't have said.
Rusty, this is exciting news. I loved hearing about the top 10.
I don't think it's giving away too much saying rusty weapons.
No. My question is one that was circulating in the community over the last couple of days, and it's around the...
I still don't see anyone with questions, though. If anyone has a question or has anything
RTG
to say, please do.
Okay.
I don't know if you can hear him.
I'm sorry.
I can't hear him. No, that's correct. I can't.
Okay. The question that was going around the community... The question that was going around in the community over the last couple of days was around the marketing wallet, really. And it was, let's say you guys list the project on one of these top 10 exchanges or two or three of these top 10 exchanges. Does the liquidity from the exchanges come from that marketing wallet or one of those wallets, or will the exchange purchase that on the open market? That was the question that's been going around. Thank you, guys. Thank you for everything you're doing. I'm excited. Bye.
Yeah, Jeff is trying to reconnect right now. Doglord, do you want to take and answer that?
Yeah. So when it comes to providing liquidity to exchanges, we have to provide them. The exchanges don't buy them. The liquidity still belongs to the protocol, but because exchange brings in when you're talking about liquidity, exchange is actually you're opening up when you list on an exchange, you're opening up to a more wide variety of buyers or new users who are not trading on the dexes. So that's why you provide the liquidity to keep a balance. When liquidity runs low on an exchange, the exchange actually notifies us to say that, hey, because you have market making wallets that are owned by the project, and the exchange actually notifies us to actually add more liquidity in terms of whether it's token or whether even it's USDT, because when you're adding liquidity as a project, we have to add in a pair, which is if it's a Bezoge and USDT pair on an exchange, then we have to provide equal amounts of Bezoge and equal amount of the US dollar value in USDT to the exchange. I hope that answers your question.
It certainly does. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we got Mike James.
Hello, Mike.
How's it going?
Fantastic.
Good, Mike.
We're not in lockdown anymore. We're out of lockdown.
Didn't hear you snoring today when you fell asleep, but besides that, everything's good.
No! Don't say it on here. It's recorded. God damn it.
I was worried you were just gonna click that button and come on and be snoring there, Mike.
No, it's great time.
It's not
We
a
should
secret
maybe have
anymore. Everyone knows about it.
We should have a snoring Mike James. Someone has the recording. We should have like the Snorlax in Pokemon. Have a snoring Mike James Bezoge somewhere in the map.
God.
With
no,
a phone in his hand on a Twitter space, medicated on a bed.
Oh, no. Anyways, I was looking around. Maybe I missed it, but I can't really find the content, what Michael was saying for the Dubai event. And the video that I found, it was so echoey. I can't understand what he's saying. Is there like an official video to show us with like a better resolution so we can actually hear what was said?
Do you mean from the live event from Meta Week?
Yeah.
Yeah. With Mike, do you have that? Do you have any?
Mike's off. Mike's not on anymore. Mike left.
We have chased the Meta Week team, so I'm just waiting to see if there's any formal video production material available. As soon as I get word and feedback, I will be sharing some. So Mike, that has been requested.
Yeah, we'll have to speak to the conference and see if they'll give us a copy. I'm pretty sure they recorded it, so we should be able to get it.
Okay. Yeah, I can't wait to actually listen to that and see what was said because I can't understand what he said.
Yeah, and I think Mike is talking tomorrow at another one. Is that right, Shady? Mike is talking at AIBC or something like that tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll make sure that if we can get a high resolution recording, which we should be able to, we'll put it up on our YouTube channel.
Perfect. And when is the trailer? The teaser. We saw the teaser of the teaser. When do we see the trailer?
You want to see the full trailer, Mike? Really?
Oh my God! You have no idea, man. You have no idea.
No, it's coming soon. Very soon. Very, very soon. It will come with the new site. So, yeah, I think, Jeff, when do you reckon?
April.
Yeah, April is a good answer. There have been some delays for some kind of obvious reasons with, we had some members of the team that were working on the trailer were in Ukraine. So, we had some delays on that, but it should be ready very soon.
Cool. Well, I can't wait to see it. Those are really the only two things I had to say. Plus, did you get your gaming laptop, Jeff?
Oh, I don't have a gaming laptop. I've got a gaming PC.
I mean, the PC. Did it come in? I know you were waiting on it.
I'm on it right now. That's why I'm.
Oh, nice.
Hopefully, I sound really nice with my nice microphone and stuff.
You do sound pretty clear.
Yes.
That's good.
Okay, good. That's working. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's good. Shahid has been. We were doing some benchmarking with Shahid, and I just destroyed his computer with my Cinebench results. Literally got double Shahid's computer, so I'm pretty happy with that.
I feel quite destroyed about that, actually.
He was very destroyed. He sent me a message. Sorry to get off topic, but he sent me a message before I did my benchmark saying, "Good luck, you'll need it," and then I completely destroyed him. So I was pretty happy about that.
That's exciting. And one last question for the mobile version on Android. When it's all out and ready to go, is it going to be like an app a person downloads and then log in and play, or is it going to be like on a website?
It'll be an app. It'll be an app for sure.
Yeah. Cool.
Whether it'll be on Google Play or not is a different story, because play-to-earn games tend to be difficult to get on, but it'll definitely be available as an easy APK download on Android.
I think the current size is like 700 MB on that APK file, but it's not even optimized yet. So.
Okay.
To be honest, it'll probably be bigger, if I'm 100% honest. It can be optimized, but remember, we still have a couple thousand weapons to add in. But I think what we can do, Benji is trying to get back in. What we can do with the game, which we've not done yet, is make a smaller build, and then when you come into the game, you have to download all the game files. After you've downloaded
like separate worlds?
To a certain extent, yeah. Usually what you do to optimize mobile games is you'll download a small package, and then when you come into the game, you'll have to download the maps and everything, and all the larger files inside the game, rather than having to download a huge game to begin with.
Gotcha.
It works. Okay. It works better because it increases conversion rates on people downloading, right? Because if people have to download a 2 GB file just to start playing, they're less likely to do it. But if they download like a 50 MB file, and then within they've already downloaded it, and they open the game and then it starts downloading the game files, they're much more likely to put up with it after they've already downloaded the game, right? So it makes the process a lot more smooth. I'm trying to get Benji back in, but he doesn't seem to be working.
I know, I keep adding him back too, but we keep losing him, so.
He's getting rugged.
But anyways, that's all I have to say. Thank you, guys.
You're more than welcome, Mike. Make sure you don't fall asleep for the rest of the AMA, Mike.
I'm about to be driving. If I fall asleep, that's a problem.
Unless you got autopilot, then you might be okay. But I don't think you do. Oh, Benji is back. Benji, was I right on those things? About the Android?
Yeah. He keeps coming in and out every time I hit approve to let him in. I think
it shows him as a speaker. Oh yeah. He showed as a speaker and then he disappeared instantly. Okay. Okay. I'm 99% confident that I'm right on that, based on my experience with game development. So I'll trust my judgment on the fact that we'll download a lot of the game files after the package has been installed. And sometimes you can even actually play some basic version of the game before all of the files are downloaded. So we can do all these sort of optimizations.
We were also discussing a WebGL version, making it available through the site, being able to have a quick experience, even being able, even way before the download phase.
Yeah, on the new Bezogia site, there will definitely be some WebGL versions of the game that will allow you to have some small experiences of the game without even having to download it. Benji, can you hear us? There was 2 Benjis and they both disappeared. I think Benji is still having connection issues. So. Okay, should we move on to more questions? Benji, can you hear us again? Or is Benji here?
I don't see him on the speaker list.
It says requested. I've approved him like 5 times, but it doesn't seem to be. Maybe we can move on to any other questions. Does anyone else have any questions from the community?
Yeah, I was just double checking through Telegram and Discord. And I think we're good unless someone else here has any questions. I don't see any hands raised.
I see Benji connecting now. There's one Benji that is a speaker and one Benji is connecting, so I don't really. Okay, James White has a question.
Go ahead, James.
Benji disappeared again.
James, you should be good to go as a speaker.
Oh yeah.
And I see we've got guests up too.
I just got on like 2 minutes ago. Was there any questions about
James,
staking?
did you have a question?
Yeah, can you hear me?
James, yeah, we can hear you.
Was there any questions asked today about staking? I just got on like a minute ago.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just listen to the AMA later then. I didn't have a specific one. I was just looking for anything that they could tell us.
Okay. Sounds great. We'll update you. Can update you in Telegram too with what was discussed today. Broadcast, did you have a question?
What's up, guys?
All good. How you doing?
I'm doing some rug pulling right now, and
I don't want to be on that rug.
Oh yeah, I thought I heard on here something about exchanges because the speaker's away from me, so I can't really hear. I'm catching bits and pieces. So, did I hear mention of like possibly top 10 exchanges?
We are in discussions with the top 3. We are in discussions with 3 of the top 10 exchanges. You can actually go back on the recap over here because there's basically no concrete announcement that we are getting listed on exchanges. We have just been in discussions with these exchanges and have the approval in terms of paperwork has been approved. But when it comes to getting listed on these exchanges, there's a lot more than just getting the Bezoge token listed. We are trying to get, yeah.
But it looks promising.
We'll announce an exchange listing when there's an exchange listing. It's a very complicated question you're asking.
I'd say they probably would announce it first whenever it does happen, and then we would follow thereafter.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, the fact that they're talking to you and everything is that's good. I think I just shit myself. All right. That's good. Another question is for the giveaway. What do we need to be following? Because I didn't hear that, and my nephew needs to know.
Twitter.
That's it. Just Twitter, not anything else?
So, yes, we actually didn't fail to mention this in the same way. There's actually a 300 billion Bezoge giveaway that's going on right now in our Discord community.
Yeah.
For suggestions. So we have in the past week we have had a few upgrades done on our Discord server. So we have added a lot new channels. We have also ended up adding a suggestion channel where the community can suggest, and the rest of the community can actually vote on what suggestions they like, which actually helps us. If there's a suggestion that's been upvoted many times, it makes it easier to come into our attention and see that, okay, this is what the community is looking for. And that was the development that was done. So to encourage people to actually start suggesting more, we are giving away 300 billion to whoever gets the most upvotes on the Discord suggestion channel. I think right now Mad Hacker is winning the lead, and that giveaway is going to go on until the end of the month.
Okay. All right, cool. Last question, 1 beta. Possibly April?
Beta, I think Jeff could answer that.
You probably don't want to answer it.
He's having some connection issues. He keeps coming in and out. We're trying to keep him up, even though, like, for me, it's showing he's still a speaker and a co-host. But
Come on, knows
we'll
something.
see.
Beta
Quarter two.
beta would be in Q2.
Q2's a good window.
You know me. That's too vague. I don't want to hear Q. Give me a month.
Well,
It has to be vague, right? Because from our perspective, because we're developing the project, it's like there's additions that come in that even we were not thinking of adding them in the first place, like something that the weapons thing, which I saw today, was kind of in the making for so long, but the final mechanics was completely different from what we started off a few months ago when we were thinking about making the weapons. So there's additions that happen that actually add up to the timeline as well sometimes, because eventually for us the goal is to deliver quality, not just rush into something. So that's why we don't usually give a specific deadline. Actually, not just us, it's any project in development, they don't give a specific deadline when it comes to delivering of a project. They will only give it once they know that, okay, the project is done and now we're just in the final phases of testing. So here's the date, this is the date we're coming out, because now we've done everything. Now we're just sitting and discussing a lot more and testing the project more. So it's more about there's a reason why we can't give a specific deadline, because if we give a deadline and we miss it, then it looks bad on us.
No, sir.
We go under pressure where we might have to sacrifice quality in reaching the deadline. So that's not something we want to be under when we're working.
Well, you answered a question for anybody that's new on here. I know exactly how you work. I'm good with it, and I'd rather have you do it the way you're doing it. Awesome job.
I think, I would add Broadcast and Doglord, because at the stage of beta, we're starting to look at real funds. So when it starts coming to real funds, there's very little room for error. So we have to make sure that the contract's right, the optimization's right, mechanics and so on and so forth. Because you see a lot of projects out there, they'll release, they'll have an open contract, there'll be a flaw in the contract. There's just lots of problems when it starts coming to real money.
Yeah.
Also, in beta, what's happening now is it's the timeline between the beta and the final release has shortened significantly. So the way we are developing the project now, beta would be more or less the final product itself. It would when we were announcing it earlier, we were saying Q2, beginning of Q2 would be beta, and then beginning of Q3 would be the final release. The span of 3 months has kind of shortened down to 1.5 months in our opinion now, because the way we are developing the game.
That's awesome.
So it wouldn't be a very significant gap between the beta and the final release now. So just to give an idea on this.
Wow, that's awesome, guys.
I managed to avoid that whole
No
question.
wonder.
You did that on purpose.
Came back just as you said.
All right.
I came back just as you said you were happy with the answer, Broadcast. So I think you're all good.
I'm always happy with the answer. You know, I know what you guys are doing. I get it. All good. All good. I think that's all I have for questions. If anything, I'll bother Carrie, and she won't answer me, but I love her anyway.
Thank you. Thank you for your questions, Broadcast.
All right, guys. I'll talk to you. Thank you.
Have a good day.
All right. Any other questions? I don't see any hands up unless I'm missing something.
No, I don't see anyone else requesting to speak.
That's because you're not a co-host.
No, that's true. Paulo, can you add me back as a co-host?
I'm not a co-host.
I like the shadow effect, Monty. Shadows look amazing in the game.
No, we've had shadows the whole time, Shahid. Have you only just noticed them now?
No, they just seem to look better and better. I mean, like, just the shadow scene I've got going on right now, it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm watching your stream. You can see your shadow down on the bridge or whatever below as you're dancing.
Oh, that shadow. Okay, I see it now. I see you standing there, Shahid. Yeah, you're standing on the edge, looking at your shadow down on the bridge below.
All right, we've got a question. Got a hand up from ZNU fan.
Hi. I have a very basic question. I've been seeing how do I, first of all, maybe the first question is, how do I pronounce this project?
It's Bezoge. Bezoge.
Bezoge, not Bezogi or anything. Okay, Bezoge. Yeah. All right. I did see Bezoge here and there, but I'm certainly interested to understand a little bit more. I'm completely new to this project. I did go to the website, but I'm trying to understand the tokenomics. Is there any information out there on that portion of it?
Yeah, if you go to our website, we have a whole wiki. We have a whole wiki about it. Yeah.
Okay.
We have two websites, just to be clear. So we have Bezoge.com and Bezogia.com. Bezoge.com is the native token website, which is the Bezoge token.
Okay.
Bezogia.com belongs to the game itself, which is the Legends of Bezogia. The wiki you will find is on Bezogia. So it's to make it very simple, it's wiki.bezogia.com. That's the link you're looking at.
Awesome. Sure. I think that greatly helps. Thank you.
Welcome.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you.
Also, to add to that, if you have any questions on the website, you can join our official Discord, Telegram. Join one of those groups. The community, you can look for myself. We've got some great community members that can help answer your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
I see we have Bezoge Mob raising his hand.
Yes, and he's got a new profile picture.
I was about to look at that. I could see it as well. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, I'm going to change. How are you guys? I'm going to change it back. That was for the scammers and the fudders for the
I like
days,
the sunglasses. Yeah, I like them.
Thank you very much. Hello, guys. So, in terms of marketing, I guess, on all the socials, and Carrie hears it, everybody here hears it, people questioning the marketing. So I was just looking to find out, I'm sure you guys have a plan of attack, how you're going to release the marketing. Are you planning on doing a gradual build-up towards the release of the game with a marketing campaign, or are you going to release it and then start doing the marketing after that?
No, I think there'll be a gradual ramp up. That was kind of always the plan from day one. And with the release of the new site or the upgrade that's coming, it just gives us more options to capture all of that traffic. So we'll ramp up in terms of alpha player acquisition as in preparation for beta. And then there'll be even further ramp up in terms of marketing channels as well as budgets across different markets. So all of that will ramp up continuously throughout all of this year with a view that we've got, we want to get to 7 digits in terms of daily actives. Axie Infinity, we know the benchmark in terms of where they're performing at. And that's a goal in terms of, we want to achieve and exceed. We want to be the #1 game in the marketplace. So there's a big push for growth. Some of that growth you might not see because a lot of the target players might be in different markets. And there'll be a lot of gamers that'll be acquired on mobile. So, I'd anticipate 60 to 70% of the ad budget will be focused around mobile acquisition. That's where we'll see a lot of growth, a lot of penetration in the emerging markets. So a lot of ramp up and something really to look forward to. we'll have a lot more content and creative as well with a lot of the game development. So yeah, one of the things we want to do is all the great work Benji and Co are doing on the development and creative side, as well as the mechanics, the quest system, the lore content, all of that good stuff. We need to tell a story. So that story is going to be amplified everywhere.
I feel like we need to have an NPC in the game that can't pronounce the word lore.
It should be a fun Zoji.
Should be a fun Zoji that can't pronounce the word lore. It just says lure every time they say lore. Oh my god.
All right, thank you. It's nice to have a little bit of information to respond to people that pop in either the Telegram or make a comment on Facebook, because, you know, so to get the official word from you. And now it's here on the recorded AMA too.
I mean, to be clear,
they listen to us. So
the marketing has... Yeah, there's constant marketing on. We have Google AdWords constantly running. We have Twitter ads that are coming up. There have YouTube ads on the teaser, and they will also be on the trailer. A lot of it will ramp up when we have the new site coming in the next couple of weeks. Once the site is looking a lot nicer, we have a lot more tracking integrated into the site. We'll have a lot more ads coming on because we have some direct call to actions on the new site. So basically,
I think also we had the alpha offline for a couple of weeks while we were performing the upgrades. So just timing wise, this allowed us to kind of regroup, focus, prioritize on really, you know, where is the key growth going to come from. So yeah, as mentioned earlier with Zach and the corporate communications, there's a lot of work that goes on behind the scenes that doesn't always show in development or creative. And a lot of that work will come, you know, or come to fruition in the coming weeks and months. So yeah, there'll be a lot of announcements, a lot of positive things, and I need to get my 1 million daily active players. And that's certainly not coming with the, you know, the current levels in terms of where we're at right now. So we grow the social base first. You know, this is going to be a big form of communication, getting out the message in a lot of the different formats. We know video content is a key form of content that works. It's got extremely high engagement across the board. So yeah, we'll leverage that across all channels, but you know, there'll be offline marketing as well. So outside of
we also have signed contracts with influencers and celebrities with a lot of followers to be ambassadors and to push the game closer to the launch. So expect that over the next few. That's a little bit of a leak or a hint, but we do have signed contracts, and we are already working with these people to put together content closer to the launch of the game. So expect things over the next couple of months as well.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, got Bezoge Queen. Come on up. Bezoge Queen, can you hear us?
I was going to say, I thought that was me, that I just couldn't hear people speaking. So yeah, you're unmuted, Bezoge Queen.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, first of all, I wanted to thank everybody. I'm super psyched about this project. Shiny, my friend, got me in on it a couple of months ago, and we've just been chilling all over the place up here in New England. I had a question for you guys. We were just speaking about marketing and whatnot, and I just was wondering what demographic you guys are focused on marketing towards, like directly, because I know, you know, my kids are super excited to play the game. I've shared with them all of the videos, leaks, and you know, I show them all of the things Shahid is doing on YouTube and whatnot. So just wondering who you're going to be directing the marketing towards, like mostly everyone, kids, like, you know.
It's going to be predominantly, I mean, the data suggests that predominantly the target market audience is male. fitting into a few different age brackets. So it's definitely going to be, on the younger side of things. But I think depending on where you're coming from with the project, there's going to be a different communication based on the audience demographic where we're speaking to. So one aspect might be you're coming in from the player side and you want to play the Bezoge, you want the rent and earn mechanism. So therefore, there's going to be a much younger audience that we're going to be communicating to, and naturally that the narrative will be tailored for that audience. There'll be another audience that'll be coming in from the rental side. They might be more concerned regarding tokenomics and regarding staking and a lot of the other benefits of owning a Bezoge, for example. That audience might be a little bit older. They might require a little bit of a different style of communication. But regardless of what the data shows, we are speaking to also influencers and some ambassadors on the female side of things, because I really want to grow really a proportionate or a representative growth in terms of the game. The game's designed for everyone. It shouldn't really just be a gaming community or just young guys or whatever and what have you. So we really will try and push for a varied array of audiences. But naturally, wherever we see the conversion, we'll probably lean most as to where we see conversion rate in terms of the specific demographics and device types. But we will test for lots of different communications and groups and try and make sure it's as diverse as possible.
That's excellent. Yeah, I think that's awesome that you guys have definitely considered every angle, and it sounds like a great plan. I fully believe in you guys, and I'm just, like I said, super psyched to be talking to you and part of this awesome community. So thank you.
Thank you. Welcome to have you, and thank you for the question.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody else? If not, I think we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, we could wrap it up. It's 1:45 on our end, anyways.
Yeah, y'all need your sleep so you can get back to work.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to. I just had a coffee a while back, so it's gonna be hard to get some rest now. But yeah.
I will go and grab a munch, and then I will catch you online shortly, Carrie.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. We speak again next week, and